Dit is housekeeping Alex and Jeff.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I am Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. Let's do this, guys. I hope you guys are doing what I'm doing right now, sharing the pod and inviting your friends and family and fans and whoever and all your loved ones to join in and watch tonight as we have another fun episode. And I guarantee you're going to hear some funny stuff that maybe you haven't heard. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So first off, how you doing, Alex? How was your weekend?
Weekend was good. Here I am now, and it is 1 billion degrees today. I don't know about you guys. I don't know where you guys are at in your area of the country.
Yes.
Or other country, all right? But what's the temp like for you guys? Because, listen, I'm done. I'm done. It was 9,000 degrees today. It was listen, this is how bad it was. Okay, listen to this.
What's up, Lee?
I'm used to schools saying, you know what, too cold outside, we're not going outside to play. My kids' school emailed me. Kind of cool that they emailed me to let me know, but 6 to 1, half dozen the other. I'd been fine if they didn't. And said, hey, want to let you know, we made a decision and said it is way too hot. The kids are not going to play outside today. They're going to be inside. They're going to do recess, gyms, and yada da da. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, checks out. Listen, you can call me like, well, they just emailed me, which was fine. But at the same time, like, I don't want any part of being outside today. No, nothing. Were you outside today? And how much did you hate your life?
Just for a little bit. I mean, I was mostly at the school today. I was working out inside, things like that. I did do some. Oh, actually, no. I go outside and I get in my hot tub, and it's 90 degrees outside, and I get into 140 degree hot tub. Yeah. That's how
Stop. This is the dumbest. That's the what? Stop, Jeff. Jeff, it's 128 degrees likely where you're at, and then you decided, you know what? Not only am I going to go outside, I'm going to go outside in a hot tub.
Yes, recovery, dude. I did a couple things. I was running a tournament this weekend, coordinating. I did a couple forums. I'm still recovering from a Mary kick and all the 12, 13.
Ice bath.
Okay.
Sounds pretty good right now, doesn't it? It sounds a lot better.
That's good too, but I'll do that tomorrow when I go to the gym. So
I'm actually surprised. I'm actually surprised you don't have your own ice bath.
No, I don't yet. I mean, I should. I should.
You almost said yet. You almost said yet.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, I almost got my own sauna and all that stuff, but yeah, no, I don't have all that. I don't have all the space for any of that, dude. There's too much. But no, I've almost like emptied my hot tub and just put all the ice in it, right? Because I can do that too, or I can just not heat the water. So
speaking of sauna, check this out, right? So not this weekend, the weekend before. So a DJ in this wedding in a barn, right? And a lot of these ones that they do it, they used to be full functioning barns. So it's like, right, this thing's ridiculously tall, yada da da. Converted it. It's probably been around since 1746, whatever. Okay. So this thing is 100% cedar, right? It is cedar. So if people don't understand what that is, like that is what a sauna is, right?
Right.
And apparently, like we all say it wrong. It's sauna, whatever. You get it. Right.
Sauna. Okay.
And this place has like minimal air conditioning. So when you walk in, you literally like, this is a barn sized sauna. Right. this is gonna suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it did. And here's what made it worse. And then we'll move on. So what made it worse is they were like, hey, this is really cool. This is where the whole reception area is. There's the bar. You're going to be up in the loft area above the bar. And in my mind, I'm like, why? That doesn't make any sense. Like, it does look cool. Like, oh, the DJ looks cool up there. But
Yeah.
I actually don't like that. I want to be in the people in the party.
Yeah.
Think of it like competing on stage versus competing in like runoffs, right? I like being amongst the people, right?
Okay.
That's what I want. I'm
Yeah.
not a stage guy. So heat rises. So I am in the hottest possible place.
Heat rises.
And right behind me is like the utility room where like which made it even hotter. Like, this just sucks. Like, I lost 10 pounds of water weight. All right. Silver lining, I guess. So how are you?
So I had a big weekend, another one of my favorite regional tournaments. I think there's been 21 years in a row that I've been to this event without missing, except during COVID. This is the 29th Mountain View Open. Doug Armstrong puts on a big show. That's what he calls it, the big show down in Hickory, North Carolina. It's a fun spot. So I coordinated. Only had one student that went down this time from my school.
Did you bring your mascot outfit costume?
Didn't bring my mascot. No, I did not even go. I didn't go by. What's funny is that the person that's like one of the main managers of the Metro Center, which is the convention center, he used to be the manager of the baseball team. Like, not the manager, but like the person that, like, yeah. So it's so funny, that every time I see him there, I'm like, oh, that was one of the worst bosses I ever had. But so Mountain View Open, yeah, my son, Sean, my youngest son, went with me, and he hasn't been in a martial arts tournament in probably 5-6 years. And so he had a blast. And what was cool was that he enjoyed it. And then today he took his first class, like, with us. He did competition class first time in like 5 years. So it was pretty cool to get to see him enjoy that and get that push again, So that was fun. I coordinated Friday, and then Friday night after the tournament, they had the poker tournament. So there's a poker tournament. There's a poker tournament on Friday night, and then Sunday after the competition, there's a golf tournament. So he has a poker tournament Friday night and a golf tournament. I've talked about this probably every year since we've had this show. And
I know now that you're saying it again, I remember it. But just think about that. Like, have you ever competed in a poker tournament, participated in a poker tournament before?
I did not do it this year. But it takes a long time.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
And
so
I will always lose a poker tournament.
Yeah.
Tournament, I will 100. It doesn't matter if like everybody's rookies, I will lose because I'll get impatient.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like some years they'll go to like 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning. Now they have it in the lobby of the hotel, so it's not as bad. But in the past, they would have restaurants that would host it, and outside, like Buffalo Wild Wings used to host it, and Hooters used to host it. It was wild and crazy.
After
so
a while,
they had to kick them out, right?
That's the thing. After a while, like, you're like, all right, this is me. Like, I'm either going to make the decision that like I'm going to be completely dialed in and I'm going to win this thing, or I want to have fun and experience everything.
Right.
And after a while, I'm like, all right, 7 deuce. Oh, it's suited. All right, let's go all in. I'll probably get a flush.
Yep.
Nope.
That's just what we do. Yeah. but it's a fun time, and he gives trophies and announces who won the next morning during his open ceremony. So it's a lot of fun. Good competition as always. The Southeast, man, I really think is very underrated with the competition that we have and the legacy we have down there. I'm going to share about, me competing, some different things. One of the big things there, of course, is the breaking competition. I didn't get to see as much this year, but there's some crazy stuff. I'm just going to tell you, all right, this one thing. I'm going to describe you guys one of the things that and it doesn't surprise me because I know this guy, and I'm not even sure if he ever really received a black belt. I really think he's just the promoter's buddy, okay, that can just break some things, all right? And he's been around for a while, but he's got two cinder blocks, right? Well, not cinder blocks, sorry, two bricks or whatever you call them, like slabs, sorry, concrete slabs. Then he's got two other ones, but they didn't lay flat. He turned them sideways. So
Why?
they're like this. So he's got 1, 2, and then the other two like this, and then he put two more regular flat on top of it. They're not supposed to break that way.
He's not
right?
gonna break that with a sledgehammer.
I've seen him do crazy things like this before, and he does it.
Don't tell me.
It took him a little
Don't tell me he
bit, but
did something
broke
crazy
it.
like throw his shin at it or something.
He didn't do that this time. I've seen him do that with so he just took a big, pretty much like a board, like a board that you take for like shelving units, and he tried to break that whole thing with his shin once. That didn't work too well. His shin just ricocheted off of it. It was nasty. Yeah, but Ronnie Crisco is wild and crazy, man. That's. I'm sure there's some. I'm going to be putting some video out of some of the crazy stuff he's done. But yeah, and the thing is, like, so for this there's a time limit, and so he's just going and just like smashing. He looks like Hulk smashing. Not really much technique, okay, and just hoping it breaks. Dude's an animal. Always love watching him. Sometimes he's on, sometimes he's not, but that's what's fun about it. But all right, the next thing though was a big deal. If you guys didn't hear, Spartanburg Martial Arts caught fire last week or a week and a half ago. Okay, so and it burned to the ground. I think this week they are knocking it over. It is going to be done. If people don't know, that is Rick.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was about to
Martial Arts. That is Rick and Nikki Carlson Lee's, or Nikki Lee's, and her husband Rick Lee's karate school. Right. John Helms, what's up, man? One of the great judges of the weekend and a past winner of the breaking competitions. So it's so a lot of guys and martial arts brought different things to donate. So it was really cool to see just the surrounding support and of everyone, right, for their school. Right. Josh Bailey, who has really helped run the school, who is going to continue to do it and to run it, and he's found a place within a day or two to continue classes, right? And
people don't understand how vital that is. You understand because you had a car drive through your karate school, but people don't understand how vital it is to just keep it going, even if it's costing you money, because this is one that's this is you get those catchy quotes, those guys who are business gurus and they have those catchy quotes. This one actually made a ton of sense, and he said, and he tailored it to karate schools, and he goes, karate schools that are always closed always close.
Yep.
So
that's so true.
It is just so important to just keep the doors open, right?
Correct.
And I'll tell you one that was so important.
The second one that we've had happen this year. Kyle Reed School burned down this year, and same thing. Within a day or two, he found a spot and he found a new lease. He just went to grinding on it, and same thing with Josh Bailey.
And these random arsonists, what's going on? Did they find out how it happened?
They found out where it happened. So it was a certain spot in the place, and Rick and Nikki own the place. It's been there for years. They've had it for a long time. I don't remember what the building used to be. So, but yeah, it's just wild. Just a random kind of out of nowhere thing that kind of happened, electric type fire, I believe. So
you got a rat chewing on a wire.
Something crazy like that.
Thing like Shrek's too.
Yeah. So, but again, man, it was cool just to see the support, and getting to talk to my friend and make sure he's all right. And, and just, giving advice, to him, and so many great legends and martial artists were there for him. So pretty awesome to see.
I don't know anybody who's had a business burned down before, but I've had a family member have their house burned down, and I've had a few customers over the years have their houses burned down, and they say the same thing all consistently. They all say, I would not wish this on my worst enemy.
Right.
But your business, especially a business like this basically is your house,
Right.
Like even when you go home, you're like, I don't even know what this place is like. Like, what are we doing here?
Right.
Where's the mirrors?
Right. So it was wild, man. And, but what I know for him going to that tournament where he's going to work his butt off, coordinate, judge, coach, to him still it was a break, and so it was to be around all the people who care and love for him. So it was awesome. So great to see that. And again, just prayers for him and as well as the Lee family. So, and just that legacy of Spartanburg martial arts, man, it's huge. So many great people have come out of there. So the tournament went on. It was a great one this year. Another good turnout. Of course, I'm working and competing. I had my student Everett won the Korean division for his age group. I won Korean and the 35 plus creative, and had a great battle with Jack Sykes for the traditional gram and won that by a little bit, just barely. So I won the traditional gram, and then he came back and won the open forms gram. So that was how the adult black belts panned out. I believe, what I just blank on. Oh, Tyler Shrum from Strike Force, which is Corky Sykes School, won the junior black belt open grand championships, and Gabby Pena won from South Carolina from the dojo, won the junior black belt traditional grand championships. All right, so that was how that worked out. Keith Green won the black belt fighting grand championship for 35 plus. Jules maybe won the women's black belt fighting championship, and Justice Floyd won the black belt 18 plus fighting championship over his student and teammate George Stallnecker in overtime. All right, so that was kind of the way that the grands went for that. I know there was a lot of underbelt ones. There was the breaking championship. If you guys know who won the breaking championships, put those in there. I do know that Devin Westbrook won the junior ones. There's a lot of great breaking competition.
We don't want to hear about the underbelt grands because that's made up stuff anyway. It's make believe. Doesn't count.
Here's the deal, though. All right, so this is one of the bigger things that happened over the weekend. All right,
I'm listening.
Martial arts punishment. What we're going to talk about. All right, so George Stallnecker, from a great young competitor, just moved up to adults in fighting in NASCA. Last year and the year before, he was winning a lot of the overall grand championships in NASCA for point fighting. He's from FSK. Does everything. Floyd Sport Karate. He great fighter. Does a lot of great forms. Does musical. To me, he is someone who I think could compete with me and others in the adult Korean division, like at a high level.
Oh, I see where this is going. Okay.
So, but here's the thing. Last weekend, we were at AmeriKick, and my bag is there, and there's a belt sitting next to my bag for a few hours. I'm like, man,
no
one's gotten this yet. And they're like, well, let me look at who this is. And I'm like, does that say FSK? Does that? Oh, which one do I got? And I got George. And then I was like, and I know George very well. And I know the FSK very well. And I know that no matter what I do, they're going to honor it and be like, no, he owes you, they are going to understand the way I take that as hey, you don't leave your black belt anywhere, right? Especially.
Well, right. I think there's a lot of people that say that. I remember walking around a tournament with Conroe one time, and he saw something like that, and he goes, if that was one of my students, they wouldn't be a black belt anymore. And I'm like, damn, but we all have punishments. I've witnessed punishments like this. I've never had that because never ever would I do that.
Right. And I think sometimes, especially, you get in a fight especially at tournaments, and you put your belt somewhere and maybe it falls out. Maybe that happens, right? We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But so anyway, so I have it on my neck. I go to the instructors. I tell them like, oh, all right, whatever you want to do it. So I was like, hey, just keep it around till you see him. So I see him and I give it back to him.
How long did it take? Did he come to me? Did you go to him and say, hey, you lost this, or did he come to you?
Eventually he came to me because I went to his instructor, so I couldn't find him at that time, right? So
smart.
Anyways, so I had to say, just carry it around, then try to walk up to him and just say, hey, I got this, and see if he notices. So the thing is, I know I'm going to see him at this tournament this weekend. So I said, all right, you're going to stress out all week because get ready. I'm going to make you do a lot of crazy and silly and embarrassing things at Hickory. So the whole weekend I'm sending him like pictures of like tutus and unicorn stuff. And I'm sending him like princess music that I want him to do. And he's freaking out and he's like, man. So Saturday, I have like this unicorn headband for him to wear. I have an actual, like, like the little horsey on a stick thing, I have one of those, but it has a unicorn.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. And he has to walk in with that. All right. And then the tutu. And then I found like one of these long, like braids, and I clipped that to the tutu. So it looked like he had a tail. I had like a bow that I put on him. There was probably some other things. I probably could have gone even worse. I could have made him do like, put like lipstick or lip gloss on. I did not do all that. So, and he did his music. He did a song to like some princess music. I don't know. So it was, it ended up being a good
girl song.
Oh yeah. So he performed on stage, did that in front of everybody. And Brian Penna, who helps run the league, Tennessee, TCT, gets on there, never leave your black belt, respect this and that. This is part of your punishment, all that. So he kind of found out what was going on. So it was a good story and a good way to get back at him. And hopefully that won't happen again. So
I want to know what the insiders think about this. I want to know what the insiders think about if that was a good move, if
here's
Jeff
the deal,
took it too far, or if Jeff went easy on him.
It could be either one. I think somebody will be like, oh, you should have made him do a bunch of push-ups and done this and that. Dude, a kid like this who works out every day, that ain't nothing. He's experienced pretty all that, right? And at the same time, that's just going to make him better. This still hopefully will make him better. But I don't think the actual performance part was the embarrassing part. It was the worrying about what I was going to make him do and actually having him, stress about it for a week. All right. But he was a good sport. His school was a good sport. And I think it ended up being a fun story. So.
All right. So let's recap this. All right. How old is this kid? He's 18?
18. Yeah.
All right. So an 18-year-old kid. What level black belt is he? What degree?
I'm not sure. I think a first degree.
Better only be. So this kid, he's 18-year-old, first degree black belt. Okay. And he's been in martial arts. Well, how many years would you say? Probably 5, 6?
Probably more than that. Yeah. Probably a long time.
10?
I don't know.
Okay, let's split the difference. Call it 8. Okay. All right. So he's been in martial arts, let's say around 8 years. It's just I can't even believe, as the words leave my mouth, I just. All right. And he leaves his black belt, which as a martial artist, there's nothing more important than we don't have equipment. Like we have equipment, but it's like it doesn't really
right.
Unless it's like Jack Felton's headgear that he had that was like, this is my headgear. And all those who know what headgear I'm talking about, what headgear I'm talking about. Right. But there's nothing more important than like that. You know, you can't even say like a weapons competitors like Bo, because those things break. They have to get a new one like all the time. So I'm trying to think, like, is there anything that like would be like, oh, this is so important? No, the belt, there's nothing in martial arts more important. There's not one thing that's more important than that belt. I'm gonna tell you this. My 5-year-old son knows when he's changing, that belt does not touch the floor, right?
Yeah.
It does not. Yeah. It does not touch the. It does not touch the floor in any way. That means even if he hangs it up, the tips of it can't touch the floor. It means he has to fold it up so that when he hangs it up, it can't touch. Right? If anybody sees something where their belt might be touching the floor, they lose their mind. Right? So clearly, this dude either thought he was all of that and was like,
No, I think
I don't know, because
no, it was just an
listen,
accident.
because I'm not going to put it on Terry, right? And say that Terry didn't ingrain it into him, because I don't know that, right? You got to appropriate the punishment where it belongs, right? So George, all right, George, you messed up, man. I think he got off easy. I'm going to explain why I think he got off so easy, right? Because the level of anger and animosity that would have happened at NK, if that would have happened, oh my gosh, I would have got completely destroyed. Matt's chiming in. Matt knows. All right.
Yeah, of course.
Because Matt, same crew. All right. Listen. Okay. If that would have happened, I'm just thinking of like the line of people I would have had to fight that would have destroyed me. And that's why I think
and that might have happened at his school.
He needs to know. I think he needs to know how easy he got it, because you just took it easy on him and we're like, all right, man, we're going to make a funny thing out of this. Right. But no, man, it's so serious. Right. And people might be calling me an old head for thinking it's so serious, but listen, what?
No, it is serious. That's why. Yeah, no. It definitely is. It definitely is. But I'm also not his instructor, and I'm not around him every day to.
That's why I would be like, if I was, I think Terry gave you the respect of saying like, listen, man, it's up to you. I think if you would have been like, dude, you got 4 rounds with justice, you know, and justice is going to give it to you. Terry would be like, good. Or you know what? I'm trying to think of somebody else. Justice was the grand champ. That's why I said his name. You know what I mean? So
I get you.
But no, because he does that every week. But when you do that every week with somebody, but then you have to turn it up because something happened and there's a situation like this. Listen, that's right. I've witnessed that stuff, man. And I've witnessed a kid. I'll tell you, here's an example. My brother, right? At probably 7 years old. Okay. Mm-hmm. He was like a red belt. Okay. Maybe he was 8. This is so, I can't believe this happened. And we knew not to do this. And it wasn't my brother's fault, but yet it's his belt. So it's kind of his fault. Like someone's got to take responsibility. So my mom washed his uniform and the belt, washed the red belt. And oh my gosh, and you can tell when you see someone's belt that's been washed, right? And he was like trying to like hide it as much as he could. So he's got to go into the classroom, right? And he's got to like go to his chumbi position, go to his fighting stance, and boom, there's the belt just hanging out. He contemplated not wearing a belt.
So. Wow. Crazy. All right. So next up, guys, we have, we're talking about regional tournaments. There was some other events this weekend we may get to as well. We have regional tournaments, we got national tournaments, and we got international things going on as today. Waco Junior Worlds just started. So the first round started today. So lots going on. But we're going to bring on the man of the virtual fight tour and the promoter of King of New York, Jessie Wray. What's up, my friend?
What's up, fellas?
What's happening?
Hey, that belt thing, man.
Yeah.
I can't name too many people that you heard that lost their belt before. That's how serious it was in my school coming up.
Oh yeah.
Right?
That's a real thing. Yeah, I
Yep.
thought we were the only. I thought my school was the only psychotic school, so it's not just us coming up.
But
No,
Jesse, that's what I was talking about. Like,
Yep.
we don't have an item that's more important than that.
yeah, the belt touching the floor, a whole
Yep.
school turns, and
Yep.
when I coming up, my instructor put that in us, and we still keep that going. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know y'all had that. See,
Same. Yep.
Florida's the same, Virginia's the same. That's beautiful enough. What's up, though, fellas? A lot going on.
Yeah, man. Lots going on.
Yeah. Did I miss out on the stepping out of bounds thing? Yeah, I did that already.
Oh, we haven't gotten to that yet. No. We were waiting until you got on. We were just talking about my weekend. I was at a regional tournament this weekend, so we talked about that and talked about some different things. Talked about
Speaking of events to talk about,
Spartanburg Martial Arts. That I don't know if you saw that their school burned down. So we were talking.
Yeah, I saw that, man. Yeah, man. Prayers and blessings go out to them. I know that something like that happened to you before when somebody hit your school.
Yep.
And you never prepare. I mean, you try to prepare for it, but you can't.
Correct.
When it happens like this.
Yep.
But
so it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, man. So King of New York is coming up. You excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's just this guy here so quick.
Yeah,
man, it's so quick. Yeah, this year's again we're gonna do a little something different. We got the guys coming from international. And we're gonna have some fun with that. Remember, we did VFT at the Bristol Open, so those guys are coming. Some of them are coming back up to pay the favor, and the ladies. And we're gonna have part 2 of USA / the Americas versus Europe.
who are some faces we can look to expect to see?
All right, so I can't give everything away because I've been posting every day, like kind of like a surprise thing.
All right, well then no. How about this? Tell us what you've posted.
Jack Buckley.
Okay.
James Megan. Ellie Harvey. Posted Tyreek Saint. Tyson Ray. Brianna Nurse. Am I missing anybody?
You said, Katana. You already posted the Katana.
Katana. Posted Katana so far. So yeah, that's what we got right now, and we still gonna be posted. But we bringing out our top guns, so you could imagine who those are.
I love it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get another one. Now we're gonna do, Jesse, are we gonna do 2 separate ones, like a full female one and a full male one like we did in the past, or is it gonna be a combined overall thing?
We're gonna combine it this time.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
we're gonna combine it this time.
Now, why did you make the call to combine it versus have it separate like you did before?
It's just because this time we have when we went to Europe, there was no shortage of a European fighter.
I thought that's what you were going to say.
We had to turn people away. So in reverse, them coming here, we'll be short on a couple things. So we decided to combine it.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing, different ladies fighting ladies. You know what I mean?
Checks out.
Yeah.
King of New York, we're gonna do a few things different this year.
Okay.
We got our open weight, of course, but if you're fighting in if you're underbelt, right, and you want to go, you can do this also. I believe in black. This for all divisions. You can fight one age group up. So if you are a 10 and 11-year-old intermediate, you can fight 12 and 13-year-old. Same rank, you got to stay intermediate.
Yeah.
But you can go one rank up.
All right.
So
all right.
Yeah, usually we got the open and stuff for forums, more things for the forums. So we wanted to do a little bit with that with the fighting too.
I like it. I like
and
it.
it's gonna be fun.
So
And
it's
also,
similar to how Europe does with and Waco does with the weight class, where you can move up one and do two, but just with
absolutely.
age.
Yep. Um, their age and weight is a little different, but
Right.
yep, the same little something similar. But we still not no sweeps. And maybe we'll get there.
Yeah.
But
Do you want to get there?
sweeps, I like sweeps, man. I just see too many cases where people they get hurt, and now we kind of like. So I remember Trevor Nash was Battle of
I know what you're
Atlanta.
talking about. Yep.
Yeah,
Brian Ruth.
Brian
Mm,
Roofs. I remember that time Brian was going for a legit sweep, but it just
Yeah.
didn't
He
pan
was
out,
going
and
for a legit sweep, but
he
that's just
blew out his leg. Um,
Yep.
just little things like that. So I want to prevent certain injuries so we could get those good old matchups. But I've been watching a lot of sweeping, and I think we might go back into that because that was exciting. I came up on that sweeping with the follow up.
Yeah. Yep.
So we'll see.
I have
All
no,
right. So
I don't have mixed feelings about it. I just straight up don't like it. And
You don't
people
like
think
the
I don't
sweeps?
like it. People think I don't like it because I'm a kicker and kickers get swept. But I don't like it because I feel like it doesn't make sense because it's the only technique where you can score a point without landing a strike.
I guess if it's a successful sweep, that is pretty impressive. If you actually
Yeah.
take them down. Also, I think that this is the bad side of it. If you get somebody that know they're not gonna win and they do like a high leg sweep and try to
mhm.
hurt you,
Bingo.
then
Yep.
that's when it becomes a problem. So
Yep.
I stayed away from it personally, but I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how to do this the best way safely and make that a rule. You know what I
I
mean?
understand.
I think Europe does a decent job because they sweep and they do not they don't go down when they sweep. They kind of stand up and step in and hook that back
Yeah.
leg.
Honestly, I've seen the point fighting sweeps are usually pretty safe. It's the continuous sweeps that are not because people are trying
Well,
to
that's
sweep people
true.
that are square. And a lot of times they're just hitting and really just kicking at their ankle. And I've saw some ankle
Yeah.
snap and some things like that. I think
I've
last
had my ankle dislocated.
I've
Someone
been
tried to
last
sweep
fall
me
season,
before.
so
I've had that.
See, Leandro,
yeah.
thank you
But
for the shout out. Appreciate you.
yeah, man.
Hope to see you and Amanda in the building. But yeah, man, the sweeps. I don't know. It's fun and it's a little risky. So I'm gonna let the people decide. You want to
Right.
bring the sweeps back? Maybe we'll take a poll and see what happens.
All right. So Jesse, what else is going to happen? So we got the King of New York, we got the Queen of New York. Those crowns are given out to who?
Yeah. So if you win, I think you muted out for a second, Jeff.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go. If you win your grands or whatever, then you're the king or queen of that division. Um, Same thing with open weight and things of that nature. We're gonna also have underbelts, only intermediate. Every year I'll switch it up to a different group, like advanced and beginner. We're gonna have underbelt grands for them. So before the Europe and USA thing, we'll run a little underbelt grands just to get them pumped up and give them the feeling of being, the center of attention. And a lot of the kids love that. But I don't want to over flood it with underbelt grands. So we're gonna do one every year. We're gonna switch it up to a different um ranking. So beginner,
right.
intermediate, advanced. This year we're gonna do intermediate. Um, what else we got going on? So
Well,
also, y'all know King of New York is all black belt fights are 2 rounds, 20-second
rounds.
rest in between.
20-second.
20-second. Yep.
Ooh, you better be in shape.
Walk to the corner, shake it off, and get back in there. Right.
Dang,
Yeah.
I like that.
And then we got our
All right, so
open weight.
Jesse, yeah, is the open weight going to be the same way?
Yeah, open weight is just regular open weight. We start from 12 and 13. The 14 and up division is a big gap. It's 14 to 17 for open weight.
Okay.
So, you know, and that's open weight and rank. So if you're feeling froggy, you feel like that's your level, jump in.
Right.
Jump
Right.
in.
I love it.
So
Also, Jesse,
also weight, the black belt weight divisions, you can also fight one weight up. You can't go down. You can fight one weight up.
I like it. Now, Jess, when are you going to do when is the USA versus Europe going to happen? So that way everybody knows.
Yeah, so that's going to be at the end of the tournament. We want to try to keep the crowd around. So we're going to do all the divisions, do everything first. Run the grands, probably have like a little show, make it like a little show thing, set it up a little different. And then I would say around, if I had to guess, around 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, because we moving. Our tournament, we move pretty well, pretty fast. Last year, you know, we were done about 2:30. So
nice.
You know, if you got good judging and the judges stay in their seats, you could get the tournament moving. So that's what we plan on doing.
That's the key thing, man. That was something that we always do with keeping the judges in the seats. And then based on how you want to do, like, feeding your judges, right? Like, unfortunately, this weekend, and this has been a battle we've had for several years now, is with the convention center, they won't let anything, you know, outside be brought in. So we actually had to take the judges to a hotel across the street to serve them the food because all the food was donated, right? So it's like, you know, so that takes a bit, you know, so you have to do this and do that and back and forth. So yeah, those are all parts of like running a tournament, man.
Yeah. It's
what time does the tournament start?
All right, so open weight, we start at 8 a.m. Open weight.
Oh,
and then we start the regular divisions at 9 a.m.
Tournament starts at 8 a.m. Done by 3?
Last year, 2:30.
Let's say 3 just in case. Okay?
Yep.
2 to 3. Okay? If I were a ref, this is me personally, right? I would not want to stop to eat because I know that's when I'm going to get tired. You see what I'm saying? We've all had that where we're judging and we're in the midst of, we're tired. We're like, man, I'm exhausted. All right. But the moment you go, you sit, now you get sleepy. I wouldn't even want. I would be like, you know what? Give me another division. Let's just push this thing. Let's just keep pushing through. And then you know what you got waiting for you and you're done. Because the moment you get back up, now you're like a beat behind. You're a beat. I think you are a beat behind.
We do the traveling while the judges is working, and
that's helpful. That's really helpful.
Water and granola and stuff like that. But I think definitely sitting in a chair doing forms and weapons after a while, you know, it could get to you. But then when that fight comes, you got to move around, peps you back up.
It does.
Agreed.
Hopefully that may help or whatever. We just got to keep reminding the judges and keep the judges on task. You know, that's the biggest challenge is keeping your judges on task and on rules. Sometimes you'll get a rogue judge that have a belief in their head and they want to roll with that. So we just want to keep them on task. And usually we have a center judge in there that meets everybody like, look, you got to do this, that, and this. And then we get back to staying on task. So that's always the key.
Jesse, as someone who, all right, you have a tournament that's going to bring in a lot of people from all over the nation. And even this time, you got people internationally coming. You've ran regional tournaments, national tournaments, an international tournament. You have coached and competed nationally, regionally, internationally. You've done it all. You haven't just stuck to one area or whatever. You guys go everywhere with a bus most of the time, right? So,
Right.
right. So, how is that? How does it help you run a tournament when you have that experience?
So I trim the fat of the things I don't like. So a lot of things I don't like, I make sure I don't do it at my tournament, especially like customer service. There's a couple nationals that y'all guys ain't seen me at this year because I didn't like the customer service. So I'm at the
Right.
stage now where if you're not, you can you just we're not just gonna fall for anything. You got to treat us with respect. You got to
Right.
host a outstanding, host a good event, and stick to your word and stay on rule set. So a lot of that is not happening at some events, but some events are awesome and great. So
Mm-hmm.
I try to do the things that I like to be done to me, basically.
Right.
Um, are we going to be perfect? Of course not. Being a promoter is hard. Everybody needs you. Everybody wants something. Nobody's ever
Right.
happy. So we just do the best we can, and through relationships and friendships, we get good volunteer and good people to help out, and we return the favor as well. But again, the main thing is run a quality event is you gotta have customer service.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have customer
Yeah.
service. You gotta make people feel welcome. You gotta make people feel like this is a good event.
Right.
You
Right.
can't act like these people are beneath you and they're not contributing to your success or to your event. And that's important. I mean, just something is just as far as speaking or saying hello and how you have enjoying yourself, checking on people and things like that.
How you speak to somebody.
How you speak to somebody when there's a situation, try to troubleshoot it, even if it's something that is going to go against them. It's how you approach it and how you deal with it. So that is one of the biggest things that we try to do. When you tell somebody, look, I don't care, keep your money, and you don't got to come here no more, then that's not good.
Right. Right.
That's not
Right.
good.
Well, you're
So,
right
Exactly.
on, and I think what sometimes tournaments, I'll just say forget. I don't want to say like they just don't know, is that every person that is inside your event is a customer. Every single competitors and spectators, we're all customers, and
Coaches,
that
judges.
is your customer judge. Well, there you go too, right? So the customer service, right down to what is the parking like, right? All of it's important, right? And there is a very big tournament. There's a very big one that everybody in at one point in their life should go, but they have horrible customer service, and we all know it, right? Not going to out them right here, right now. All right. You can read between the lines. It's in the summertime. Okay. So it's not fantastic, but it's big. It's a big ass tournament. Right. So at one point in your life, you're going to go. Right. And a lot of us went many times. So you don't know until you know. You don't know until you find out. And then you go, oh, this is not fantastic. Right. And then you start doing, Jesse, kind of what you're just saying. Like, I want to do what I would love done to me.
Right.
listen, like again, and that's why I travel. I never, I love. Of course, we grew up on the NASCAR circuit, NBL circuit. But you can't never become a slave to one thing.
Right.
Try other things. That's why I made it a point to get Tyson out there. Tyson has did ISKA. He's won that. He did Waco or Irish Open. He won that twice. He did NASCAR. He's won that. He did WKC. He's won that. And let him figure out where his lane is, and where does he feel comfortable at. And so this is like the Kappa movement that we have started, Coaches and Players Association, where we were trying to step up to get better customer service and better experience for our players, for our parents, and for our spectators. That was very important. And we're not done with that. We're gonna be coming back with the Kappa and stuff like that. Me and Jeff talk about that a lot, but we just have to figure out a way to structure it and get it back rolling with all the other things that we got going on. But
exactly.
that's an important piece that we have to help out, and the customers, which is every single fighter, every single spectator. You have to be the one to be involved, and your voice has to be heard, and you have to be the movement. It's the people, because like big companies, big tournaments, big promoters, they don't want to they don't hear you until sometimes you hit them in the mouth.
Right.
So
it's true.
Sometimes you gotta hit them in the mouth and like, look, we're not standing for this. We don't like the way you treat us, and we're gonna take a stand. So until people are ready to do that, it's gonna be the same old, same old. But
Correct.
also, a lot of promoters are doing the right thing. A lot of promoters are doing customer service and rolling the red carpet out and treating people fair and things like that. So shout out to all the promoters doing the right thing.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I want to give a shout out to AmeriKick for it, because I don't think I did enough with that yet, and even posted about that enough. But for them to do what they did for the 40 and up, of giving an extra grand for that, feature them on stage, doing things like that others don't do, and like they said, could it get better? Yes, it could get better, but it was their first time. They're trying it, and they're going to continue to grow from there. So
I don't understand why AmeriKick doesn't get more support, man, because they are very professional as far as the layout, credentials. You got to attend coach meeting. They keep the parents off the floor. I mean, this is what you want in a competitive environment.
Yep.
Right. If you they doing everything right. They have the one finals going at 3:00 and the next one at 5:00. There's just something missing that they got to figure out, but it's a great event. They are definitely leading the way of how an event's supposed to be run.
Yeah. Yep. So great job to those guys, Mark, Bob, Jared, Jill, everyone involved, the whole team there with AmeriKick and AmeriKick Martial Arts, and so great job.
Yeah.
All right, so
absolutely.
let's get on to kind of what we've kind of been talking about, just the consistency in the rules, right? And this has been a big thing for the past year or two, is the step out of bounds rule, right? And then this year, even though it's been in effect or in the rules, but it was the first time someone actually like implemented it and actually went and did it. There was a DQ that we saw at Miami, right?
And the fighter was up in points, and it was like a few seconds left.
Yep. And so
there's so many layers to this too.
If you have 3 penalty points, no matter what it is, right, Jess? It's not the same foul or whatever. It's just 3 fouls, 3 infractions. The fight is awarded automatically to the player. Now, there is something that they talked about and they addressed this at Battle. It says we need to look into this rule for grand championships because 3 may be, you may need to have 4 with a 2-round fight,
because
right?
it's 2-round fight.
Right, exactly.
I think they made an amendment just for America after whatever happened on Friday.
Yeah. So
Yep. One of those.
Let's talk about that.
Go ahead, tell them, Jeff.
Well, I just heard the yelling and everything, and then I heard I was at dinner, and it was like the coordinators and people came to me and said, "Hey, so this is what happened, and something has to happen right now. There's no rule in play, and there has to be a rule in play." So just kind of sharing about that.
What's maddening to me?
Yeah.
Is that when the rules are made,
Alex, my fault to cut you off.
Go.
This is the bad thing about the rule is you could step out of bounds 3 times and you get disqualified, right? If you get disqualified, you don't get any points. No points get awarded to the other team.
Right.
So you know how team fighting usually if somebody gets injured,
I know.
They get 10 points.
I got so much to say on this.
What ended up happening was I think was it Bailey or was it Java? I think it was Bailey. The team was up by so much, they just stepped out and used the rule first,
right,
and end up winning. So now, even if you give them 10 points, it depends on what team it is. If we up by 12.
But see, that's a perfect example. See that, right? What you just said is a perfect example. When a rule is made, when the rule makers are making the rule, they make the rule and say, this is what we want. And then typically someone goes, well, what if someone does? And they go, well, that's not going to happen because we want this to happen.
Right.
Yet, all of us, when we look at, we all say, all right, let's look, we're going to about to compete in this division. What are the rules? And then we try to do just enough to try to have some competitive gamesmanship and win based off of what we can do within those rules. And then you have that exact same example. There's so many things that have happened over the years, one way and the other, and you can't really say all of it's been fair. Yeah, if people just went, you know what, I don't care. I'm just going to line up in front of you and I'm just going to fight. And I know that I could step out of bounds and we'd just be over and our team would win, but I'm not going to do that because I just want to do this one thing. That's stupid. All right. That's stupid because now you're looking at someone who knows what the rule is and knows, wait a minute. You're really, really good. I could just beat you by not fighting you at all. And the rule makers think that won't happen. 100% that's going to happen. And it did. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope. Again, me personally, every time the person go out, they should call a point. Just let the point stay unlimited.
Yes.
Every time it's an infraction point over here. Yeah. And just keep that going.
It's fair.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too. I think,
Yeah, just keep that going.
I think the only time where there's something like that where it should be a straight up DQ is like groin kicks, like below the belt, things that are going to cause injury.
Well, let's talk about that.
The center ref could DQ somebody anytime. Like if they use foul language or get crazy in the ring, they have the power to do that. So we don't even need that. That's already a power they have.
Yeah.
Well, let's do this. I want to take you guys back in time, and I want to bring up two real life instances that I was a part of, and I'm going to play it out, and I want to know what you guys think. Okay, here we go. Okay, instance number 1. Okay, Team A is fighting Team B. Team B is clearly better. Okay, Team A is pretty good. Team A sends up their fighter. Team B knocks that fighter unconscious, what happens?
I want to know who it is now.
We're talking the second clash of the fight. I'm a part of one of these teams.
Oh, it was a riot.
There was no riot because
Well,
I'm a part of it. Nobody cares about my team I'm on one way or the other.
Yeah,
I've been on both
usually
sides. I've
somebody
been on a
gets
team where the
knocked out.
guy's been knocked out, and I've been on a team where the guy's been doing the knocking out.
Well, usually
Right.
you got somebody that wants to pay back.
So, but my question is, what happens? We're talking second clash of the fight. Team B, everybody knows, should win, right? Team
Was
B
Was it
knocks
malicious?
out. Doesn't matter.
No. Yeah. It's a knockout.
Because if this
Absolutely.
happened on Saturday in the division, it doesn't matter. You knocked him out.
But is that a
Nah, it doesn't
that
matter
a-
though, Jesse. It doesn't matter because if it
No,
happened on
good
Saturday
question, though.
in the division, DQ no matter what.
My question is that does the team get disqualified or does that?
That's what I'm
match?
asking you. I'm asking
Oh,
you
okay.
what should happen, and then
Uh,
I'm going to tell you what happened.
they doing match by match stuff, so I would disqualify the match and give that 10 points to the other side.
Okay, you want
to
to
the
know
one
what
that
happened?
got knocked out, right?
Say again?
To the one that got knocked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to know what happened? All right, here's what happened. This is the craziest thing ever. This is 2003. It's myself, Greg Betlock, and Jamie Cravens. Okay. Okay, NK team. We're talking one of the first times Greg Betlock has even come out. I'm the best fighter on the team. Okay. Greg would say that too, by the way. All right. And we are fighting Johnny Tension, Trevor Nash, and Preston Clements of JPM.
Whoa.
Right?
Whoa.
Oh, so you look at that and go, these guys shouldn't win a match. Respectfully, I understand that. Okay. Here's what happened. Preston goes out against Jamie Cravens. First clash, they just tangle up. Jamie falls. Second clash, Preston pumps. Jamie sees it, goes, ugh, ducks and turns, and Trevor switches him back leg round, kicks him in the
You mean
face, and knocks him out.
Preston?
Preston
Preston or Trevor?
Preston switches, not rear leg roundhouse kicks him right in between the eyes, knocks him out. Okay. Charlie Lee sometimes is too smart for his own good. Charlie Lee goes, but you guys were going to lose anyway. I'm not even kidding you. These
You
are
say that.
these are the exact words said, and you know that's the truth, right?
He said it? Wow.
Yes. And you know it's the truth because you can hear him saying that. And he's like, but you guys were going to lose anyway. And he says it with no emotion, too. He's like, you know that's the case. And he goes, and this was in the first of 5 days. So he goes, well, it's not Preston's fault. 5 points JPM.
What?
Yes. Because he tried to say, well, it's not Preston's fault that he couldn't continue. So he's ready to sit here and fight. You can't get up and fight. So you don't have an alternate. If you had an alternate, that alternate could finish the match, which that's not how that works. Right.
Right.
And he goes, so 5 points.
Yeah. First,
That's how it happened.
You got to address the infraction. We are a no knockout sport.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that has
When you
to
start
be
allowing
addressed.
knockouts, then
Right.
you're like, the
Right.
boxing commission gets involved.
Exactly. And none of us want that problem. So you have to address the knockout. Then, well, what about would you penalize them and let the alternate come in, or should that be automatic points?
No, I would go with the first thing you said. You have to make sure that a knockout should not be allowed whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And you have to go, listen, we need to make
10
this
points.
we need to make this hurt. You guys did the knocking out. You're disqualified.
Yeah.
Now let
And
me tell you
then-
about the second incident, because this one flips. Okay. Team A is fighting Team B. This time Team A is a lot better, and Team B is cheeseburger. Okay. Same thing. Team A is going up. First fighter. Okay. And these are two. I'm going to say, you're going to figure out what it is. These are two big ass heavyweights. Okay. And they are hitting each other hard. They're kind of starting to hit each other late. Team A drops Team B with 3 clear late shots. Right? We're talking like this is very bad. Right? Like Damon Gilbert would say, this is late. Right? So, and not listen, Damon would. I'm not saying anything. Damon would always say, "Listen, I didn't hit late. Judges says stop too early." No, Damon would say this was late. Right? So now you know it's late. Right? And they were like disqualified. And an experienced ref, Jose Pacheco is the ref. So you're like, okay, well, we're not talking about scrub here. We're talking about Jose Pacheco's the ref. It's Jose Pacheco, right? He says, immediately looks at it and goes, disqualified. What's disqualified? What
should be happen? just that fight, and then there'd be a 10-point, like what we talked about.
Now, Team B,
and this is
Team B does not get okay. I misspoke. Team B does not get knocked out. Team B jumps up, he's ready to go. But it was bad.
But still,
it was very bad.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you still could
you still DQ.
I mean,
so he's up, he's ready to go. He's ready to go. But they were like, dude, this was clearly so bad.
Yeah.
It depends.
Okay, so here's what happened.
In America,
go ahead.
We got another thing. We got to make sure our refs are controlling the fight.
Yes.
There was and Nick Kane, dude. Nick Kane, you my man. But the Trey and Kev fight, that could have got ugly. Could have got ugly. You gotta, as a center ref, you gotta give somebody a penalty, give somebody a warning, whether it's them from talking, jawing, or they hitting or whatever, because it could have went left quick, and I thought it was, but thank God it didn't. Well, you got to jump in there and make a decision.
Yeah,
because sometimes fighters will force a ref's hand like you have to make the call. You don't want to make the call, and especially against a fighter who's really good and someone you might really like. But it's like if the fighters are forcing your hand, that you have to make that call. Like you have to make the call.
That fight, everybody was on edge. Like, yo, this is gonna pop off. It was, it was bad. They were, you know.
That wasn't the only one. There was several like that, right, Jesse?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of late hits going on last weekend.
You gotta control this. That's all on the center ref. You can't put that on the tournament. The center ref has to jump in, stop, one warning, late hit, call infractions, I'm gonna disqualify you, stop it, zip it up. You couldn't get away with that in some other leagues.
Well, let me tell you what happened in that second incident that I was telling you about. So that second incident, it was Team NK. We were Team A. We did the knocking out. And obviously that person was BJ Carnahan, right? And we fought a local team from California that compete nationals. This is in 2006.
I know it was in compete.
Yeah. Well, because that was Jose Pacheco, right? But you can find this video too. And it's crazy. This guy is bigger than BJ, right? Which is freaking nutty, right? So BJ seriously cold cocks the guy like 3-4 times. There's a backstory that has nothing to do with this guy. This guy just caught collateral damage, right? But anyway, so we're looking at that and like, so when they were like, he's disqualified, and we're like, do we get disqualified? Did we do anything wrong? Like, am I supposed to run? Like, what happened? Right? So anyway, so what they decided, the guy who basically got dropped, he did get dropped hard. He gets back up and he's like, no, I want to fight. Don't make me not fight. I want to fight. And Jose is like, you want more of that? You really want more of that? Look at him right now. Like BJ literally made a motion like this right before he dropped him. Like, and Jose's like trying to talk him out of it. He's like, you don't want the smoke, right? before that was a term. He's like, you don't want to smoke. And the guy's like, no, really, please let me fight. Like, I came to this tournament, I wanted to fight. Please let me fight. And so he's like, all right. I mean, he's not knocked out. He's just penalty point your way. I guess we just keep fighting.
Yeah,
Definitely
that's crazy.
2006. Yeah, definitely 2006. That doesn't happen in this day and age. So yeah.
Yeah, Alex, I gotta pick your brain one day too, man. I had one of the worst fights I've ever fought in my life, and I finally got to fight with Frank and Jotty. We were all on Elite with Alex, and finally, I think they changed the rule. It wasn't light, middle, heavy no more. They let us. You can fight with just 3 fighters, and we was cruising, and I was playing cleanup that day. For some reason, I laid an egg, but
With who?
it was against NK, and
Who?
I gotta find out who that was. I do not know to this
What
day.
year?
That gotta be what, 97?
Probably 97 or
Oh.
I think we had on
yeah.
Black Unity.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
There's a couple of guys that it could have been.
Me, Frank, and Jotty. Frank took care of business. Jotty took care of business. I thought I was gonna cruise. I'm like, okay, yeah. And I
It was
delivered
Dean.
the worst fight in my team.
It was Dean.
You sure?
It had to be. We're
He was
talking
on
97,
stage.
98.
No, it wasn't Dean. It was not Dean.
Then it was Larry. It was Larry Brooks Decorum.
Dean was the dude wasn't big. Dean was big. Dean
I know the team.
Jotty
I know the
Dean
team.
all the time.
It was Larry Brooks Decorum.
It wasn't Jason, was it?
No, was it NK team?
Yeah, Jason might have been on there.
NK team.
Jason who?
You know who I'm. Well, I can't think of his name right now. He always used to fight Brian and juniors, and then moved up a few times. Was crazy. The one you talked about that would knock people out all the time.
No, not. That's Josh. Josh.
No, not Josh.
Yeah, Alex, you ever watch a movie and then the music comes on and it's like slipping away? Oh my God. We was cruising.
Yo, I had that happen to me once.
One kick. I was like, okay.
You're thinking of Josh Pilquist, Jeff.
I was like,
no, I'm not.
But Brian Spies. It was probably Brian Spies.
Brian Spies is who I'm thinking of. Sorry, Brian Spies.
The lights was bright. That was probably my worst team fight ever in life. I can't even tell you what happened. It was just over when I blink of an eye. And I'm like, wait. I finally get to fight with the all-star team, my brothers. We've been dreaming about this because I usually fight with Hector, Jotty.
It was Hector and Jotty. Yeah.
And you're saying you laid the egg.
I laid the egg.
I've had that. Ross reminds me of that every time. I don't ever forget that. I
redeemed myself at Compete. It was me, Jotty, and Frank. Spencer sent us out there.
98.
And we went out there and we took it all. And Jotty and Frank put us in a hole. And
you pulled it back.
13-1.
Dang.
So, yeah, that was my. I couldn't do it again. I was the anchor again, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
People don't understand how good a fighter you were at the time either. They just look at you, and I've said it many times on the show that you're an amazing coach, right? And it's not just like an amazing coach. You have a fantastic school. You have a team of people that you brought up. Like, it's not like it's just a couple of guys, because sometimes some people can catch lightning and it's just like you got a couple of guys, you got this core group, and then like you just kind of carry that one group. Like you've had waves of people, right? Yeah, but if people don't know, like you were fighting at the highest level from like the early 90s, no, late 80s, right?
Yeah.
80s. Junior,
Smash team. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Alex fought with us one time.
Yeah.
You fought with us in Miami. Remember
Yeah.
that year?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
That was fun.
yeah, that was fun. But yeah, man. So that was the thing, man. But
We
yeah,
fought
King
each
of New
other
York.
one time. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't win that.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna win. I did not win.
Mike P. Mike P.
Yeah. Mike
Yeah.
Bombero, what's up? That was wasn't that I had that was my bridge, man. Had to get through Mike. I'm telling you, that middleweight division was crazy. Mike
was.
Pombero, Johnny Guante, Joey Rivera, Joe from that was on our team, Alexander.
Oh, Joe Alexander. Joe Alexander was man.
Oh man, Reggie Perry at times.
Yep.
Like middle.
Yep. They would switch. Yep.
Yeah, we going through that middleweight division was something. It rotated a lot. Put it like that. Chris McBride.
Well, the middleweight division is always interesting because people go into it and people go out of it, right? And sometimes people come back into it, but sometimes it's like fluid. I'm like, well, I'm a great example. At one point, I was a middleweight. I am no longer a middleweight. That is never happening again, right? But but then you get guys like Mike P right here in the chat. He's been a middleweight since, I don't know, 1964.
Middleweight. He was in light heavy. He went to middle, and then he went lower. And Mike P packs a punch. Lord. Boy, they sleep on him, man. I remember Mike P from back in the days when he was from Boston, rocking the Mr. Attitude. Yeah, Mike. Mr. Attitude on a gi.
Oh man. Yeah.
But yes, man.
Dude,
one thing I didn't get to mention, or did I?
No, you didn't mention it. You flashed it.
Bailey Murphy on Friday at King of New York
Yeah.
doing a seminar. And he got the city excited every time he touched down, man. So Bailey is he's one of the few dudes that cracked the code, man, like Raymond did on the Europe side.
You said it.
Yeah, man. He took a loss out there. I think it was probably Enrique or somebody. This guy just stayed out there. This is how obsessed he was, man. And all the great ones got that obsession thing. And he stayed out there and competed, I think, a week later and won. And then he started doing his little seminars out there and just embracing and embodied himself in the Waco and the point. You got to get the judges to know you. You got to understand the rules. You want to do a regular body punch like you from the USA, and you got start understanding why they're not calling that. They prefer the fadeaway back fist, the jab, or the reverse and punch over the top to the head.
Yeah, right.
So even kicking, you throw your little D side. They're not calling that. So
and that's what's funny is like you don't really get it unless you do what you just said Bailey did, like unless you immerse yourself and I've said that like there's certain areas in the country where like one exchange in South Florida is a point, and then that same exact exchange you go a little bit north is completely the opposite. All right.
Yep.
It's like that in a lot of things, man. I mean, even this weekend in forms, if I would have done a certain form down in the Southeast where they love that form, it would have been probably easy for me. But because I chose a different form, they were like, we've seen that. We want to see you doing this form. That's what we want to see, and so it makes them change. And forms are different wherever you're at. There's certain ones that, it's just, this. And I tell the same thing with going to the AAU Taekwondo and the way that they call point sparring, completely different, and, because you got guys, obviously we all either we watched a little clip of the Olympic sparring. So you imagine those guys that are coming into the point sparring world, trying to do those types of things in a point sparring thing, right? So
Right.
there's going to be a lot of different things that are called, no matter where you go, differently. Penalties too.
Yeah, you know, if you go down, if you come up north, New York, Jersey, whatever, and they're gonna heavily favor like Shotokan, Goju, and stuff like that. You know, if you go um more north, like New England areas, a lot of Kempo and stuff like that.
Yep.
Going down towards you is more Taekwondo. So yeah, you got to know where you're going, know rule set, and you got to cater to what the judges want. I
Right.
tell my fighters
Right.
that all the time, man. Don't just study the fighter, study the judges. you gotta
Yeah.
study the judges, man. See what they calling.
That's
See what's
key.
hitting on that fishing line today, buddy.
That's right.
You're right on. But see, that's one of the things that makes you a great coach, because you could train someone to be a fantastic fighter and do the right thing at the right time when they're supposed to, but that doesn't mean anything if the judges don't care about that.
No, if it ain't, if you keep doing the same thing and they're not calling it, I mean, you got to give them what they like. You know,
Yep.
it could be
Right.
hitting, but maybe they don't like it. You look at your judge set. Or you got old school judges, or you got the young, fast, quick, new school judges. What do you got? You got the old school judges. They like a little mustard on their frank. You know what I mean? They like a little mustard on their frank. The newer judges, they're really quick. You got to get back to that line quick and hustle. So cater to the judges. Maybe Kia on it. Some of them want that Kia.
Yes.
Yeah. That's right.
You know what I mean? Some don't call back for it. They like reverse punch. You know, hold that chamber back.
100%.
So,
you know what it is.
So Jesse, one more thing as far as an opinion that I want. So this weekend, all right, yeah, you got one more. But this weekend they had a stage during the daytime, all right, and it's something they always do. They have a stage for the black belts and stuff. So they had the final. Oh, not they didn't have the finals. It's just they're just having the fighting on stage, right? We've kind of gone back and forth on that. I think the stage. This was Mountain View Open, so it's put on by Doug Armstrong. It's in Hickory, North Carolina.
Yep.
Used to be an NBL regional, a big one for a while. It's part of the TCT circuit. But he always wants to do that and highlight, the guys. That's the idea of a stage, is to highlight the competitors, right? But I was the coordinator for the stage, and I saw what was happening. So I just stepped down. Instead of staying up there, I stepped down, and pretty much I caught 3 people, all right? So I caught Keith Green, and I actually pushed him and the competitor both back on. Then I caught him and had him on my shoulder and put him back on. It's the craziest thing. This happened like 3 times. And then there was one where I wasn't there. And so like Justice and Joseph Brackett both fell off the stage. Lots of different things. I think a judge got pushed off the stage. So you know what? Some of the fighters are like, hey, I don't care. Just don't fall. It'll be fine. They want to be on the stage because they looked up to people being on the stage. Now there's other ones like, hey, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to, if someone's coming at me, I'm not going to do a D-side because I'm not going to fall face first on the concrete, So, and one of the females during the grand said that, and it was funny because she's like yelling at her dad who was coaching her. You want me to fall and bust my face on this concrete? You're going to catch me? So, which is hilarious.
Listen, that's the thing, is like, even if they stick them with that sidekick and then they fall,
they're gonna go flying.
Right? Even if they go flying, it's like, okay, well, that was a pointless move because like you fell over. You can't get the points if you fell over. You're not in control.
We've seen too many tragedies on a stage, and some people have gotten hurt.
Really bad.
If it ain't safe, don't do it on the floor. Just maybe do the forms up there if there's space for them as well, and do the little kids up there. Big grown people, it's gonna go bad. It's gonna go
big
bad.
grown injuries that are gonna happen
all time. I do understand the stage, but you gotta find a way to make it bigger.
Exactly.
Or do it on the ground level. That's the only way we're going to prevent injuries. Sounds like a lot of luck helped you this weekend.
And you know what happens is sometimes the fighters will bail out the tournament in this scenario, right? So, like, if the fighters see, like, all right, this stage, this ring, these mats, this is like an ice skating rink, right? The fighters intelligently so will be like, okay, well, I have to change the way that I fight so that I don't hurt myself, so that I don't injure myself. So I'm going to go like this, so that now it doesn't expose what the conditions of that ring are, right?
Yeah, that's not right though.
It's exactly. So then it takes someone like Jeff to go, this is not okay, right?
No.
And like we've all been a part of things like that. But sometimes it does take someone whose voice matters a little bit more to go, this can't happen anymore, right? And then we got to move it at least to the floor.
Yes, move it to the floor. We're not gonna give the promoter a hard time.
Yeah,
he's trying. He wants to do the right thing.
We get it. We get it. You tried. We wanted that too. It doesn't work. Let's go here. Keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Come down. Let's do this on the floor. Everybody's safe. You don't got a 200-pound man skyrocketing off the stage, maybe hitting tables, landing on the floor awkwardly. It's concrete. It's crazy. Yeah. So no, don't do it. It ain't worth it. And you know, we get it right with a lot of stuff a lot of times, and then all it takes is one time, man. One time. So I say that's a no-go. Bring it down on the floor.
Yeah.
The fighters feel
I had too many issues with it as a promoter, and so my last 3 or 4 years as the Grand Slam, I got rid of the stage for the finals and just had a huge floor, on the mat, and it actually turned out great, and actually made it where I spent more money on the lighting and the rigs and everything, and it actually made it for a cooler, different type of show, and it had stadium seating with bleachers and things. So there's ways to do it, So, and you know what? And some of that idea comes from like watching some of these events in Europe. You know what I mean? Because they do it that way. So you
it ain't no stage. Everything is on the floor.
Right. The only time they do that every now and then is the Irish Open or maybe Waco Worlds. They'll have a couple of different.
Yeah, but even the stage that they have at Irish Open, it is like this high.
Yeah, it's not very high,
like, which is actually kind of cool. I kind of like that because you get the best of both worlds. Like, all right, I'm elevated.
You're still elevated, but
I'm still amongst the people.
Right.
Yeah, but I've had ones where I've been in Mexico where they try to do a stage, which really was just a step. And we're like, no, we are not fighting on this. Okay. If I'll step and I'll twist my ankle, I'll break my ankle. We are not doing this. Okay. So
look at Alex brings up a good point. Yeah. Alex is talking about like, what about in a boxing ring? Like with the ropes.
I used to like fighting in a boxing ring, but
like Battle
I don't think that the
battle always had it.
And compete just had.
I like the boxing ring, but I just think that in the boxing ring,
you're safer. You're not gonna fall out. Well, I mean, I suppose you can fall out, but it changes the way you fight. It makes that ring so much smaller.
The cage, the cage is cool.
Rich, we got to see again, Jess. I got so many.
Yeah,
I know. I don't doubt that. There's so many matchups that I'm like, we should see.
Oh man, stay tuned. VFT is always on the move. I'm always cooking up. You're gonna see a whole lot, but right now,
can I throw one out to you that I'm like that I've been thinking in my head that I'm like I want to see this fight? Can I throw one out to you?
Tell me, because a lot of your matchups have came to life.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this one time. The moment I watched the match, I'm like, in my head, like 2 minutes after the fight was over and those two fighters left, I'm like, I need to see this again. Tyreek Saint, Luis Nunez.
In a cage, that would be great.
Boom, 3 rounds. When Luis won that in like the last seconds of the match, I'm like, what in the wild world of sports? Diamonds.
Yeah. I haven't seen Luis in a couple of events.
Dude, and I'm telling you,
that's a good one though.
Tyreek, there was no doubt in my mind. I'm reffing it and I'm just like staying quiet, watching it. And in my mind, I'm like, he's winning the freaking ring the way he's fighting. Oh my gosh. He wants to destroy everyone he's fighting. And then Luis just caught fire. Right? Magic just happened at the end of it. And even then, he's like, I can't believe this has happened. Oh, Darren Payne, Mason. Oh, Alex, that's a good one. Darren Payne and Mason Bumba.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I heard that got chippy. I heard that.
Yeah, that was one of those ones that I was talking about from last weekend or 2 weeks ago.
I didn't see the fight yet, so somebody sent it to me. I heard about it though. I heard about it.
Yeah.
What's yours? What's yours, Jeff? Give me one. Give me a Forms one too.
Oh gosh! All right.
I
don't know. That's a hard one
for a while too, but
we'll talk about that. Virtual Forms tour was so epic.
Yeah, that would be fun. Man, I don't know. That's a hard one. I would love to see some old school guys, kind of come back and do it.
That's just
like
what I was
would love
thinking.
to see some senior fights. You know what I mean, or some 40 and up, some 50 and up. I mean, imagine seeing like
Yaska and Java was classic.
Yeah, that was a classic, man. I mean, that's a great one. I don't know. I haven't thought about it for a while because so many that I said came to fruition. It was like
Jason and Yaska. I think that was another classic.
I just can't believe.
Yeah.
With both of those fights, Yaska won both of those.
Yeah.
And people think like I was hating on him people think I was hating on him that like I picked him to lose both of those matches, but it's like I could see if Java and Yoskar was like a coin flip. I could see that, but I would still like lean towards Java. But if anybody who's ever heard me for more than 2 minutes would know that I don't care what day of the week it is. I'm going to pick Jason freaking Borelli, right? And even Yoskar's got to know, like, it's Jason freaking Borelli. I know he does.
In the cage, 3 rounds.
Yeah, I know.
So I like to see Obeda fight in the cage. I like to see Obeda fight. I don't care who. I like to see him fight.
He's gonna try to knock somebody out.
I know. I mean, he's done it before, and he's been a cage fighter, or MMA fighter. Sorry, I'm still used to the old school term cage fighter, but so I think that would be cool to see him against who I'm not sure. I mean, there's someone not from Florida. I want to see someone. Yeah, well, okay, yeah, that would be legit.
Beta and Trey.
Beta and Trey would be good, or someone up north. So
Beta like a Mike Simmons.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was thinking. That's so funny. You read my mind. I was like, good. Maybe Mike. Yeah, like that would be a fun one.
Something like that. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
I would actually like to see Justice Floyd get out there in the ring again because he started out so hot and looked like he was going to be so amazing, and then
you know who I would like
just
to see?
Fizzled out. Who?
I don't know against who yet. The tall dude that fought was straight up.
Ryan.
Space.
Yeah, Ryan.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Ryan. That guy looks like he works at Jiffy Lube. Come on now.
Dude, I want to see.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
He's a fighter, man. He's not scared.
I know he's not. I know he's a good fighter. But tell me he doesn't look like the glass guy that changed your oil.
What about him and Trey? That would be fun. 2 big boys. I mean, he has them on the height, but they're both.
I don't.
That'll be. Hey, Trey, holla at us. What's the other dude name?
That kid Diego from Straight Up. That kid's good.
From NMAC, the tall dude.
Jason. Yeah, Jason Roach or something like that.
And I got a tall big man on my team. That fought him before. Amir.
Yeah.
Amir
Styles, man. Yep.
That'll be a good one.
That would be a good one.
Or even if we go with the super lights, there's some super light matchups where you don't have to go just in the super light division because we see that all the time. Because you could do a super light and then like a light welter. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, I know I wasn't seeing things. I seen little Latona Jason. I seen him back out. I think in
Yeah.
Fight City or somewhere.
Right. Yep. He's
So,
back. So
but stay tuned, man. We cooking up.
All right, I got something for you guys. I was thinking about this yesterday. Okay. And in both forms and fighting, there's just some guys, competitors, we'll just say competitors, because ladies too. All right. That just have like this really interesting skill that they just have that just they have like a leg up on some people, right? Like if someone is like, you know what, this person has the best duck under back fist that I've seen, or this person has the best corkscrew split, you know. Name a person. I was just thinking of this. Name a person or persons that have a very unique skill, even if they don't like win.
Shaquan Parson.
well, yeah.
But what's his skill? Flying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who else
he
is gonna
has-
fly?
No, I get it. I'm just giggling because yeah, that's it. No, you're
Yeah.
right on.
This
But what
dude
is it?
did
What
a
is it?
double backflip
I
in
can't freaking believe that.
a
Yeah.
tournament.
I
Right.
know.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
You said forms and fighting, right?
Anything, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would say this, like something that like it's kind of like a throwaway. Like you know what? Maybe I think someone like Anthony Murata, who would do that 360 split round kick. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it better.
Really? I don't know about that.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it better.
His was really good. It's one of my favorites, but I always thought Jerry's was probably my favorite one.
No,
If it could-
no,
Who-
because
who-
no,
what'd you
because
say?
Anthony's longer than him.
So what? That's the length. Do you remember Jeff Ficajiri from Charlie?
I-
Lilly? Yeah,
I-
his was
yes.
sick.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think Jeff's was better. I think Jeff
Yeah.
just screamed louder.
I don't know. There's a lot of people
Okay.
I like that did different things. I think Steve Tirado had a little different flavor.
Yeah.
Peter Londe. To me, Peter Londe, no one had a style like Peter Londe.
yeah, we never seen that
Yeah.
that
The
Lende
jive
kick.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? Or how about this? Like in fighting, like Pedro had so many moves, but Pedro had this way of doing a sidekick offensively that looked like a defensive sidekick.
I think Katarina puts
Yeah.
up that chamber, that weird chamber, that Trevor Nash chamber. It almost looked like a front kick,
Right.
and she works all her kicks from there.
Yep.
So
Yep.
who does
It's-
it better?
it's-
But then who does it better, her or Savannah?
They both do it, right?
I know.
Yeah.
Same
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I don't know. Katie is so long. It just that's the one that really like catches my eye.
All right.
I think
Who
yeah.
had the ridge hand? Who had the ridge hand, or who had the best duck under back fist? Like for me, I still go back to
Thomas.
I still think
Thomas had
Wright.
the best duck under back. Thomas Wright had the best duck under
duck
back.
under and ridge hand. I thought those two moves he had the best.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know?
gonna say this though, Thomas.
I don't know about that.
If you're watching, I did it before you. It's just never recorded.
What, the duck under back fist or the ridge hand?
Yeah, the duck up. Well, I always did the ridge hand, but
Yeah, I
the
was
duck
gonna
on the back
say
fist.
like,
The duck on the back fist.
well, who had the best
Yeah.
ridge hands? Let's talk about that because Thomas had a good ridge hand, but at the same
Thomas-
time, Thomas was dropping those ridge hands. People forget it was so trendy.
I-
Ray was dropping those ridge hands. I
Ray
caught
did
a
it
couple.
with
I
ridge
caught a
hands.
couple of those ridge hands.
I think Pedro used to do like a blitz double, double. The
Yep,
second
yep,
one
yep.
was a ridge.
Oh,
And
it was like,
Casey
it was
did
like
it
this
too.
looping thing.
Yeah,
Facey did it. So did
Jason
Jason
Borelli.
Facey did it.
Tankson used to do
Hamid-
that too. The back hand. Yeah.
Hamid Farouzi,
Hamid.
I think, had the best ridge hand.
Who?
He never dove with it though. That's the thing. I don't know. Now I'm gonna walk it back. I think he had the most power. I think he had the best reach hand, but I don't know. He never dove with it though.
But see, like the thing is, people that knew how to do it without getting hit, like what? Like Thomas would put his head in your hip, and then boom, and it it was just wild, right?
You're not wrong. Mike P did that too.
Mike P is another one. Mike P had a good one. That was definitely one of my moves as well. Yeah, man, there's a whole lot of people with that.
Because you got to be really, because it's not just the move. It's not just like you said, like putting your face in the right position, timing it, throwing it.
Yeah, you gotta like that leg is here. You gotta kind of get to the side of it and come over.
But to do it and not dislocate your elbow, you know.
There you go. Don't get me,
because I've done it and hyperextended my elbow many times. I was listen, there was a guy I was fighting that I am like, listen, you're gonna catch everything, right? It wasn't a tournament, right? And I just like, you know, because when we wore hand pads, not the gloves, when we wore hand pads, it was different. Jesse, you always wore hand pads, right? So when you check and then you got the hand pad waiting, right? Because you could grab, right? And then I bang, hyperextended my elbow. I'm like, well, that sucks, right? So I changed stance because I'm like, I want to hit this guy again, all right?
I've seen
now I hit him with the reach hand from the other angle.
I've seen someone break their arm doing body ridge hands on a chamber, and Jimmy Sherman. I was the corner judge, and he broke his arm on this,
like on the knee or something.
I can see that. I can see that.
Whole shin, on the whole shin. Yeah, it was nasty.
Oh,
it was, and he ran all the way across the whole gym. Everyone had to like tackle him to stop him, to get him to calm down. It was bad.
That's the thing. Dude, old school Taekwondo, not new school Olympic Taekwondo, but old school Olympic Taekwondo. I watched a dude, because if you ever fought in like old school Olympic Taekwondo?
Me?
No.
Either one. Because so I did that a few times. It's another world, right? It's a whole nother world, right? And those are the ones where you do the switch kicking and then they go like this, right? And so, listen, this is the craziest kicks I've ever seen, right? When you block, because to kick to the head, doing it like that, it's so hard to do it when you're doing double, triple, quadruple kicks. It's so hard to get the foot up so high because of how fast they're going. So you have to get the foot down fast. So the way you block it, you basically do like a low block, like a traditional low block. And a dude kicked so freaking hard, snapped the guy's arm, and I watched it with my own two eyes. That thing spun around, snapped that thing right in the middle of his forearm. I'm 19 years old, and I'm like, this is awesome.
Somebody just said great. Cam. Yeah, Cam, definitely.
Yep, Cam's front hand, ridge hand, yeah. Cam, all right, so Jesse, to me, though, like, you had one of those with your footwork at that time, you know, like no one had the angles and the footworks that you did. So to me, it was like, especially in that division too, and that, you know, that middleweight, you had that, you know. And for me, my confidence was always, no one's going to outkick me in these forms divisions. No one's going to do multiple like me. And still, you know, like the other day, so TCT has this rule that even if you're the only one in your division, you still have to perform. You have to do something, right? So I went out there and I just told my students, all right, count how many kicks I can do without putting my foot down, and then I'll just end it. And then I just kind of got bored. And so they're like, all right, you did 45. I think you should do more next time. Like, I didn't even count. I just went. And so things like that, right, where I'm just like that confidence to be able to just to do, right, and just say, all right, no one's going to outkick me on this. I think that for me,
did a 45 kick combo. One
not
shot.
Just the same. Everything was different angles. I moved, you know, which makes it harder, right? And now if I just did straight kicks, I could do probably 200 probably more than that without putting my foot down. But
Jeff is just different, man. You take care of your body.
You're right, Jesse.
Take care of your
body.
And
40 as well.
And you know, you're consistent. You stay out there. You compete. You go with the young dudes. You go with the senior, like, and that's why you have such longevity. But most of all, man, your training, your eating habits, and everything you did with your life has got you where you need to be right now.
Thank
But
you, my
look
So
at
friend.
what
salute to you,
look at
brother.
that though. Look at that. Look at what that is
Salute to
though.
you.
At no point in life could I have ever done that. Right. And I was a pretty good kicker, pretty good. Right. I was pretty good. And I was a pretty good forms guy. At no point in life could I have done what you just did on Saturday? Like, no chance. No chance. At 23, I couldn't have done that.
I think competing, and maybe I'll take a little flack for this, but I just think doing multiple divisions um and forms could be brutal, maybe in some cases worse than fighting.
In some ways,
Because
it can.
because you win your division, you go for your grand, then you cool off, you gotta go a run off, then you gotta go on stage. That's a lot of
Okay,
hot
Jesse,
and
I got a
cold.
question for you then. All right.
I'm not saying I said in some ways.
I know. That's why I got a question for
No,
you.
Watch my
no,
words.
I know. Yeah. No.
Doing what's harder? Doing 5 form divisions in a NASCAR tournament. Call it US Open. Okay. Doing 5 form divisions at the US Open, or doing 5 fighting divisions at the Irish Open.
Well, that's
Then
different.
if you say that, I'm going with the Irish Open.
Yeah, the Irish Open. Yeah, definitely.
Because we've been there and done that. So that is brutal.
Right. Well, here's the deal that
doing 2 division in the Irish Open is brutal.
It's hard. I never had to put ice on my knees after a tournament from just fighting.
Right.
So the only thing that's close to that in forms is doing 5 divisions in a AAU Taekwondo tournament, with each one having where every division, because it's head to head. So every round you're in one division, I may do 5 forms per division. I may do, so it's very similar to fighting. So you're getting the same rounds all the time. And a lot of times some of those guys will not give you a minute. There's not a minute break on there. It's just, all right, go do it again. All right, go do it again. So that's the only thing even close, but I still think fighting's harder. But it's but that's the closest thing, because so like that first year I did AAU Nationals, I did 15 forms in one day. So every division was, so I did 4 divisions. Every division was at least four forms. Some were 5. It was wild. So yeah.
Yeah. See, now that would be harder. Fighting, of course, you're taking contact, and then you bruised up, and then you got to fight again. You cool off. You got to stretch and warm up again. But yeah, forms is the way you just described it. That's insane.
Yeah, the same time too. You're both in the same ring.
20 to 25 forms.
On a later date too, I want to discuss a topic with you too, because I know AAA, they don't give out AAU, excuse me, they're not giving out the money and stuff like that, like
working on that,
like maybe a NASCAR division or whatever, and they don't need to at the moment, right?
They don't.
A lot of leagues don't do it. Even the tournaments in Europe don't. Only for the top 1 or 2% get it.
Yeah.
So why is it that here everybody got to feel like they got to get paid or whatever? But
can't walk it back now.
Other things that exactly, that people that want to go to and pay, fly, and do all that stuff, and just happy to get a medal, trophy, or whatever, or the status, just like BJJ.
Yeah. So I don't know, man.
That's a topic. We got to figure that out.
Yeah, we do. We do.
We'll I know a little bit about it. So I took that whole crew to Bristol and just making phone calls or whatever. The passion that they had, everybody made sure they found their way there.
Yep.
It had nothing to do with money. Nobody, of course, guys, I cannot sponsor anybody, but
Yeah.
Let's be part of this movement. And everybody wanted to do it. And if you go back and look, we had all-stars there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a heck of a lineup, men and women. All those people you don't even get to see in a U.S. tournament sometimes. Right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's the formula. It got to be something that
passionate
gets their blood going, some kind of passion about it. But what is it? What is going to make them have that feeling? We got to crack that code.
What's interesting about that you bring up, so going there, and I think if you haven't done enough European tournaments, this part you won't get. So like I remember talking to Ross Cook, and when he was living in Ireland, he was going to school there, and he competed at the Bristol Open when a fair amount of Americans went there. And he said, I can't tell you what it did for me hearing the American accent, feeling like here it comes, like we're going to take over. He's literally, he's there, right? He's training in that general area. But as soon, and he was like, and he pointed out, he pinpointed, he goes, when Willie Hicks showed up, he starts, you know, letting his mouth fly, and he goes, I can't tell you what that did for me to be able to go in there and be like, let's get it, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's different. It's different when you go in there and you're like, oh, I'm the odd man out.
Right.
Crazy.
Charge my phone.
All right, guys. Yo, we've gone almost 2 hours. We got to cut this thing off. But Jesse, before you leave, tell everyone the date of the tournament and invite everybody out.
Yes. So King of New York, 2014. Look at me going back in time, Alex. 2024.
2014 was a good year.
September 14th.
Yep.
September 13th is going to be the Bailey Murphy seminar. Again, this year is going to be special. VFT rules: 1 point kick, 1 point kick to the body, 2 point kick to the head, 3 point jump spin kick to the head. All black belts, only black belts. 2 rounds, 20-second rest. We got all forms division, weapons division, open, traditional. So bring your game with that. You know we're gonna have our signature king chairs there, queen throne chairs. So cool. Come sit in the chair. And then we got our USA versus Europe. That's gonna be another classic. Those guys coming across the pond. So again, September 14th, September 13th, Bailey Murphy, September 14th, King of New York tournament. Open weight starts at 8 a.m.
Competitors should all get there. They should make a point. Listen, be there for everything that you can be there for. Bailey Murphy has decided this is my profession. I'm not getting another job or career. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to immerse myself and make myself the best at this. Experience it. If he's made the point that, like, listen, this is what I'm doing for life, be there to experience it.
Yep.
True that.
Yep.
True that.
So yeah,
True.
that's what they gotta be. And again, black belts, you can fight more than one division. So you can fight your division and you can fight one up. This year, underbelts, you are able to do one age group up. So if you're 10 and 11, you can also fight 12 and 13. Got to stay in the same rank though.
I'm interested to see how that one plays out. I've never heard of that before.
If you're the heaviest weight, then that's the only time it sucks for you. Because there's nothing up to go to. You know what I mean? But you still get to do open weight. So
heavyweights don't want to do a lot of different divisions anyway.
Yeah.
The little guys, they want to do a lot of divisions. The heavyweights don't.
So before you leave,
and what you said, Alex, we got parking. We're in Mount Vernon High School. We're in like a little cute suburban area and right above the Bronx. So safe, secure. Come out, have a good time. Awesome. We can't wait to have you. Go to virtualfighttour.com and register. Hurry up and save now. before things go
Yes,
up.
sir. Awesome. Jess, before you leave, I just want to thank you for all the support. We had 2 weeks ago, we had our 5th anniversary show. We've been on this thing for 5 years now. It's kind of crazy, but always thank you for supporting us. We're
Of course, man. I'm
episode
sorry I missed it.
So yeah, so we appreciate it, man, and everything. And thank you for joining us tonight.
Yo, did you guys saw the VFT doc?
Yes.
I didn't see the
yes.
VFT doc. No,
Yes.
I didn't see.
Go to Virtual Fight Tour and watch it.
All right, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go do that.
You
now.
look and sound good on there, man. Alex, you sound good on there, man.
Oh,
You
me?
look
I'm
and
on the
sound
doc.
good on there. Yes,
man.
you on the doc.
Yes.
You made
All
the
right, cool.
doc.
I'm gonna go watch it right now.
Go to
This is gonna be awesome.
virtualfighttour.com. Go check it out.
All right.
This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you next week. King of New
Jessie
York.
Wray.